the Earth's crust is constantly reshaped by powerful forces. Earthquakes jolt, tectonic plates shift, and erosion relentlessly sculpts the land, creating some of the most awe-inspiring features on Earth: massive cracks that mar the surface. These enormous fissures stretch beyond remote wildernesses. They slice through bustling cities, sometimes unleashing devastating consequences. From vast canyons to gaping sinkholes, join us as we unveil the power and beauty of these natural phenomena in our countdown of the 15 biggest cracks in the Earth. Number 15. The East African Rift. The East African Rift is one of the most extraordinary geological features on our planet. Stretching over 3,000 miles, or about 4,800 kilometers from the Jordan Valley in the Middle East to Mozambique in the south, this massive crack is literally splitting the African continent in two. Formed by the movement of tectonic plates, the East African Rift is a prime example of rifting. The rift is divided into two main branches: the Eastern Rift Valley, which includes the Great Rift Valley of Kenya, and the Western Rift Valley, which runs through countries like Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. One of the most fascinating aspects of the East African Rift is how it showcases the dynamic nature of our planet. The tectonic activity here is not just a slow, gradual process. It involves dramatic events like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. For instance, Mount Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the most active and dangerous volcanoes in the world. The rift is also home to some of the most important archaeological sites in the world. The Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, often called the Cradle of Mankind, has provided invaluable insights into early human evolution. Fossils of early hominids, including some of our direct ancestors, have been discovered here. Lakes formed by the rift, such as Lake Tanganyika and Lake Malawi, are among the deepest in the world. These lakes are teeming with unique species of fish, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. This biodiversity is a direct result of the rift's geological activity, which has created isolated environments where species have evolved independently. The East African Rift is not just a geological wonder. It is a living laboratory where scientists can study the processes that shape our planet. It also poses challenges for the people living in the region. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions can disrupt lives and communities, but they also bring fertile soils and geothermal energy, which can be harnessed for agriculture and power. In the future, the East African Rift may lead to the formation of a new ocean as the African continent continues to split apart. Number 14. The Door to Hell. In the expansive Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan lies a breathtaking and eerie spectacle known as the Darvaza gas crater, or more ominously, the Door to Hell. Originally, in 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling in search of oil when they accidentally hit a natural gas cavity, causing the ground to collapse and the drilling rig to sink into what would soon become a fiery pit. In an effort to prevent the dangerous spread of methane gas, they decided to burn it off, expecting the fire to last only a few weeks. Over 50 years later, the crater is still ablaze, casting a haunting glow that can be seen for miles around. The sight of the burning crater is both mesmerizing and daunting. The flames create a near-permanent luminosity that lights up the night sky, while the heat can be felt from a great distance. Visitors describe the sound of the burning gas as similar to that of a jet engine, a powerful roar that underscores the intensity of the blaze. The crater, about 230 feet wide and 65 feet deep, forms a nearly perfect circle, with its walls glowing in fiery orange hues that lend a surreal quality to the environment. Despite the otherworldly appearance and the initial disaster that created it, the Door to Hell has become a significant tourist attraction. However, the site also raises environmental concerns due to the continuous burning of methane and its effects on local wildlife. Intriguingly, the crater supports a unique ecosystem, including extremophile bacteria that thrive in the high-heat, low-nutrient conditions at the bottom of the pit. These organisms are of scientific interest because they might offer insights into life in extreme environments on Earth and possibly other planets. Turkmenistan's government has repeatedly expressed intentions to extinguish the fire, citing health, environmental, and industrial concerns, but the flames continue unabated. Number 13. Camamoa. Located in Hawaii, this incredible crack formed during the 2011 eruption of Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes in the world. What makes Camamoa stand out is its sheer scale and the dramatic way it reshaped the landscape. The eruption that created Camamoa began on March 5, 2011. Lava fountains erupted from a fissure that extended over a mile, or roughly 2 kilometers in length. This fissure was not just a simple crack. It was a gaping wound in the Earth's crust, spewing molten rock and gases into the air. The lava fountains reached heights of up to 80 feet, creating a spectacular display of nature's raw power. The Camamoa fissure eruption was part of a larger event known as the Pu'u'o eruption, which has been ongoing since 1983. This particular episode was notable for the speed and volume of lava produced. Within days, the lava had created extensive lava flows, covering several acres and destroying a forest in its path. The crack itself became a prominent feature, stretching across the landscape and revealing the dynamic and ever-changing nature of volcanic activity. One of the most intriguing aspects of Camamoa is how it demonstrates the process of rifting. Rifting occurs when tectonic plates move apart, causing the crust to crack and form fissures. In the case of Camamoa, the rifting was driven by the movement of the Pacific Plate and the magma chamber beneath Kilauea. This movement not only created the crack, but also led to the collapse of the Pu'u'o crater floor, further altering the topography of the area. Camamoa also provides valuable insights into the hazards associated with volcanic activity. The eruption produced significant amounts of volcanic gases, including sulfur dioxide, which can pose health risks to humans and animals. Additionally, the lava flows threatened nearby communities. Despite the dangers, the formation of Camamoa has also contributed to scientific understanding and public fascination with volcanoes. The eruption was extensively documented by the United States Geological Survey and other scientific organizations, providing valuable data on volcanic processes. Number 12. Tater Hills. Located in the arid landscape of southern Pinal County, Arizona, Tater Hills is home to one of the most striking earth fissures, a phenomenon of both geological significance and stark beauty. This massive fissure stretches nearly 2 miles long, forming a deep, jagged scar in the desert terrain. The fissure at Tater Hills began to form sometime between March 2014 and December 2014, starting as a mile-long crack. By March 2016, it had extended an additional 3/4 of a mile. This sudden appearance of such a large fissure was unexpected, particularly in an area where land subsidence is relatively modest, averaging about 1 inch annually over the past decade. Earth fissures like the one at Tater Hills are typically caused by groundwater depletion. As water is extracted from underground aquifers, the land above can sink, creating long, deep cracks. In Arizona, this process is exacerbated by the region's agricultural activities and urban water demands. The Tater Hills fissure is particularly notable for its dramatic visual impact. The walls of the fissure are sharply defined and nearly vertical, offering a clear view into the depths of the Earth. This makes it a prime subject for geological study and drone photography. Drones have been used extensively to capture high-resolution images and videos of the fissure, providing valuable data for scientists. These aerial views reveal the intricate details of the fissure's structure and help researchers understand its formation and development. Despite its scientific importance, the fissure also poses significant hazards. The ground around it is unstable, and the fissure itself can be dangerous to approach. During heavy rains, the fissure can rapidly fill with water, creating further risks of sudden collapse or erosion. This has led to increased monitoring and mapping efforts by the Arizona Geological Survey, which uses advanced technologies to track changes and ensure public safety. Number 11. Le Puy d'Enfer. Le Puy d'Enfer, or the Pit of Hell, is a fascinating natural wonder located in France's picturesque Aveyron region. This intriguing site, named for its dramatic appearance, is a stunning example of a collapsed doline. It's a place where adventure meets legend, drawing curious visitors from all over. Nestled along the edge of a French seaside town, Le Puy d'Enfer is shaped by the relentless forces of ocean waves and wind. This fault, measuring approximately 30 feet deep and 100 feet long, was formed through erosion. Despite its serene appearance, the pit is steeped in sinister legends and dark secrets. One popular legend tells of a shepherd who ventured into the pit searching for a lost sheep. As he descended, he discovered a hidden underground paradise filled with sparkling crystals and stunning formations. This secret haven became his personal refuge, a place of solace and wonder. However, the pit's ominous name also ties it to darker forces. Some legends claim it is an entrance to the underworld. One true and tragic story linked to Le Puy d'Enfer is the 1949 murder of Robert Tellier, a wealthy Parisian. A group of children discovered his corpse floating in the pit alongside a waterlogged trunk. The police investigation revealed that Taylor's housekeeper, André Ferrer, had murdered him in a bid to seize his fortune. Ferrer's accomplice, Robert Planet, was also implicated. Ferrer was initially sentenced to death, but was later pardoned by President Vincent Auriol. This chilling tale is said to have inspired Alfred Hitchcock's film, Vertigo. Number 10. Paloo City. In 2018, Paloo City in Indonesia experienced one of the most dramatic geological events in recent history. A magnitude 7.5 earthquake struck the region, setting off a chain reaction of devastating phenomena, including a tsunami, soil liquefaction, and massive mud flows. This catastrophe led to the formation of some of the widest and most significant cracks in the earth, reshaping the landscape in unimaginable ways. The earthquake occurred on the Paloo City Fault, which runs directly through Paloo City. This fault is notorious for its activity, but the speed and force of the 2018 rupture were extraordinary. The quake propagated at a speed exceeding the S-wave velocity, creating a super shear event that resulted in intense ground shaking, akin to the sonic boom of a supersonic jet. This phenomenon not only amplified the earthquake's destructive power, but also caught scientists by surprise, challenging existing models of fault behavior. The immediate aftermath saw the ground in parts of Paloo City behave like liquid due to a process known as liquefaction. Areas such as Balaroa and Patobo experienced this most severely, where solid ground turned into a slurry, swallowing entire neighborhoods and displacing thousands of residents. Buildings moved like ships on water, and even large structures and coconut trees were uprooted and swept away. The earthquake also triggered a deadly tsunami, with waves reaching heights of up to 10 feet. This added to the destruction, particularly along the coastal areas, where infrastructure was severely damaged or obliterated. Over 4,000 lives were lost due to the combined impact of the earthquake, tsunami, and liquefaction, making it the deadliest earthquake of that year globally. The situation in Paloo was further complicated by poor emergency response and communication breakdowns. Power outages and damaged telecommunication lines hampered rescue efforts, and misinformation spread rapidly, causing widespread panic. In the chaos, looting became rampant as people struggled to secure basic necessities like food and water. Number 9. Kraken Mexico. On August 16, 2014, a drone captured some breathtaking footage in northwest Mexico. This footage showed a sudden and immense crack in the earth, measuring 16 feet wide and 25 feet deep. This massive fissure caused considerable damage, affecting farmland and a crucial road connecting to Highway 26, a vital route for the area. The previously smooth desert landscape now displayed sharp, well-defined walls descending deep into the earth, indicating significant geological activity. Reports from El Diario de Chihuahua and Alerta Mundial Info stated that Jimenez civil protection officials were alerted by residents to this unusual natural event. Witnesses near the Las Adargas Highway in Laguna Ejido quickly informed authorities, prompting experts to inspect the enormous crevice. Despite thorough investigation, experts found no immediate danger but were puzzled by the cause of this anomaly. Geologists from the University of Sonora suggested that extensive groundwater extraction might have caused the massive crack. In arid regions, farmers often drill deep into the ground to access water for irrigation, which can lower the water table and potentially cause the land to crack as it dries out. Groundwater extraction is a common suspect when geologists encounter such fissures. NASA scientists have also raised concerns that this issue might not be confined to Mexico. They warned that global groundwater depletion could lead to similar collapses worldwide. Even a partial reduction in groundwater levels can cause significant geological changes. Evidence of a water stream at the bottom of the crack suggests that the issue might persist. If this fissure is due to intensive agricultural practices, the disturbance could continue, causing the crack to expand over time. Number 8. Thors Well. Thors Well, often dubbed the drain pipe of the Pacific, is located on the edge of the Oregon coast near Cape Perpetua. This geological marvel is essentially a collapsed sea cave that creates a striking visual phenomenon as the ocean water rushes in and out of it. Thors Well appears to be a bottomless pit, but in reality, it's about 20 feet deep. This hole in the basalt rock shore perpetually fills and drains with the tide, creating a spectacle that can reach heights of up to 40 feet during high tide. The sight of water surging up like a geyser before draining back down into the well is both mesmerizing and somewhat intimidating. The well's dramatic activity is best viewed an hour before high tide and continues to impress through the high tide period. The optimal viewing times allow you to see the well both empty and full, enhancing the understanding of its unique behavior. The rhythmic, almost hypnotic filling and draining create an illusion that the Pacific Ocean is being swallowed by an unseen force. Safety is paramount when visiting Thors Well. The site can be dangerous, especially during stormy weather or particularly high tides. Waves can be unpredictable and powerful, and it's crucial to stay a safe distance from the edge to avoid being swept into the well. The basalt terrain around the well is also slick and uneven, so sturdy, non-slip footwear is recommended. Thors Well is part of the larger Cape Perpetua scenic area, which offers various other natural attractions, including the Devil's Churn and the Spouting Horn at Cook's Chasm. These features, along with the scenic trails and viewpoints, make Cape Perpetua a must-visit for nature lovers and photographers alike. Number 7. Rio Grande Rift. Stretching from central Colorado to northern Mexico, the Rio Grande Rift is one of the most prominent continental rift zones in the world. This immense geological feature is a complex system of basins and ranges that showcases the dynamic forces at work beneath the Earth's surface. The Rio Grande Rift extends approximately 1,000 kilometers and varies in width from about 50 to 100 kilometers. It is characterized by a series of fault-bounded basins that have developed over the past 30 million years as the Earth's crust has been pulled apart. This process has created a landscape marked by steep mountain ranges, deep valleys, and extensive volcanic activity. The formation of the Rio Grande Rift began during the late Cenozoic era when tectonic forces started to stretch the North American plate. This extensional tectonics caused the crust to thin and crack, leading to the development of large faults and the subsidence of rift valleys. The rift's evolution has been punctuated by episodes of volcanic activity, which have produced extensive lava flows and ash deposits that blanket the region. The rift hosts numerous volcanic fields, including the Jemez Mountains in New Mexico, which are home to the Valles Caldera, one of the largest and most active calderas in North America. The Rio Grande Rift is also an area of significant geothermal activity. Hot springs and geothermal vents are common throughout the rift, particularly in regions where the crust is thin and heat from the mantle can easily reach the surface. This geothermal activity has the potential to be harnessed for renewable energy, making the rift an area of interest for energy development. Number 6. The Big Horn. In 2015, a staggering geological phenomenon dubbed the Gash emerged unexpectedly on a ranch tucked into the Big Horn Mountains foothills. This giant fissure, discovered by a group of hunters on their annual trip, marked a surprising deviation from their familiar landscape. Spanning roughly the length of 6 football fields, this vast fissure presented a sight so unusual that the hunters called in an engineer to probe into its origins. They learned that a saturated spring-fed water source had triggered a shift in the land, a silent upheaval without any preceding earthquakes. Such land shifts are not rare in Wyoming, as noted by geologist Tom Dray, who explained that groundwater movements commonly cause them. These shifts are often harmless, occurring away from human habitation. This event at Bighorn, luckily, unfolded in an uninhabited area, averting any human casualties. Yet, it posed a critical question. What if such a fissure opened up under a populated area? The situation in Wyoming mirrors a broader concern across the American Southwest, where states like Utah, Arizona, and California face challenges due to excessive groundwater extraction. This relentless draw on aquifers has led to the formation of numerous fissures, some miles long and others appearing as shallow gullies. While most of these geological anomalies are in remote deserts, their unpredictability could one day threaten nearby communities. The ground beneath the Southwest has become perilously dry, occasionally cracking open. Since 2002, Arizona has monitored this growing issue closely, discovering that approximately 169 miles of such enigmatic fissures have developed within its territory alone. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. Across the globe, the Earth's crust is marked by immense cracks, some extending for miles in length and reaching depths that boggle the mind. This image captures one such colossal fissure, slicing through the landscape with the precision of a master carver. Its stark, jarring presence reminds us of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our planet. But what really draws the eye is the unexpected blue hue within the crack, a color so vivid it seems almost surreal. Could this be a trick of light and shadow, or perhaps minerals oxidizing at the surface? Or maybe there's water flowing deep beneath, reflecting the sky above or enriched with glacier melt? Theories abound, and yet the true explanation remains as elusive as the deepest ocean trenches. This image not only challenges our understanding of geological processes, but also captivates our imagination. What are your thoughts on such enormous cracks in the earth? Let us know in the comments section below. Number 5. Rlffelds Gorg. Nestled in the rugged terrains of the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, Rlffelds Gorg, also known as Rlffeldar Canyon, offers a breathtaking glimpse into Iceland's dramatic natural and mythological heritage. This narrow, steep ravine, carved into the Botnsfjall mountain, isn't just a stunning natural wonder, it's steeped in the haunting tales of the Icelandic sagas. According to legend, the gorge was named after a tragic incident involving Bardr Snæfellsas, a figure who is half troll and half man, whose daughter was pushed out to sea on an iceberg by her cousin, Rlffeldr. Though she survived, drifting to Greenland, her father's grief and rage led him to throw Rlffelds and his brother into the gorge. Visitors to Rlffelds Gorg can walk up a short path to the gorge's entrance, where the real adventure begins. A stream runs through the canyon floor, flanked by moss-covered walls that almost glow green against the dark basalt. For those who dare, climbing further into the gorge reveals a small waterfall hidden within. However, the journey requires a bit of agility and the right gear. Waterproof and sturdy footwear is a must, especially as the path can become slippery and challenging. Beyond its geological and folkloric appeal, Rlffelds Gorg is surrounded by other noteworthy attractions on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, including the Snæfellsjökull Glacier, Londrangar Sea Stacks, and the charming village of Arnarstapi. Number 4. Val de Molini. Val de Molini, also known as the Valley of the Mills, is a hidden gem in Sorrento, Italy. This picturesque valley, located just behind Piazza Tasso, is steeped in history and natural beauty. The valley's formation dates back around 37,000 years, originating from the eruption of the Campi Flegrei, which released water into a tufa plain, creating this deep, lush gorge. During the 13th century, the valley became a hub of industrial activity with the construction of flour mills and sawmills. These mills harnessed the power of the valley's two rivers, Casarlano Casarano and S. Antonino, to produce flour and sawn wood, essential for the local economy. The valley's unique microclimate, characterized by high humidity and minimal ventilation, fostered the growth of rare plants and ferns, adding to its enchanting atmosphere. However, in 1866, the construction of Piazza Tasso isolated the valley from the sea, significantly altering its environment. This change led to increased humidity and eventually caused the mills to cease operations in the early 20th century. The valley was then abandoned and nature began to reclaim it, covering the old mills with thick vegetation. Today, the Valley of the Mills is a captivating sight for visitors. Number 3. Silfra. Nestled within Thingvellir National Park in Iceland, the Silfra Rift is a mesmerizing underwater chasm that offers one of the most unique diving and snorkeling experiences in the world. This rift, located between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, continues to widen about 2 centimeters each year due to continental drift. The Silfra Rift was formed by earthquakes in 1789, and it's filled with glacial meltwater from the Langjökull Glacier. This water, filtered through porous lava rock over decades, is incredibly clear, offering visibility up to 100 meters. Divers often describe the experience as floating in a glass of mineral water surrounded by vibrant shades of blue. Diving and snorkeling in Silfra require specific preparations. The water temperature hovers between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius year-round, so participants must wear dry suits to stay warm and buoyant. Snorkeling tours are accessible to those who can swim and meet the physical requirements, making it a popular activity for visitors of various skill levels. The rift is divided into 4 main sections. The Big Crack, where you can touch both tectonic plates simultaneously. Silfra Hall, a wider area leading to the Grand Silfra Cathedral. And finally, the serene Silfra Lagoon. Each section offers its own unique underwater landscapes and geological features. Beyond its geological significance, Thingvellir National Park holds historical importance as the site of Iceland's first parliament, Alþingi, established in 930 AD. Silfra's unparalleled clarity, stunning geological formations, and the thrill of swimming between 2 continents make it a must-visit destination for adventurers and nature enthusiasts alike. Number 2. The Rlffelds Rift Valley. Rlffelds is a stunning example of what happens when the Earth's tectonic plates interact dynamically. Here, the North American plate and the Eurasian plate are gradually pulling apart, creating a striking rift valley. This phenomenon, known as continental rifting, is essential for forming new oceanic crust. The Alfagja Rift Valley, situated in a national park in Iceland, spans between 23 and 33 feet in width. This rift valley is part of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, an extensive underwater mountain range that traces the boundary between the North American and Eurasian plates. As these plates diverge, the land between them subsides, forming the distinct depression that characterizes the Rift Valley. The towering cliffs on either side of the valley are a direct result of this tectonic activity, making Alfagja a unique and accessible geological wonder. What sets Alfagja apart is its visibility. Unlike many rift valleys hidden beneath the ocean, Alfagja is partially above sea level, allowing visitors to witness these geological processes firsthand. Spanning the rift is the Leif the Lucky Bridge, constructed in 2002 and named after the Icelandic explorer Leif Erikson, who voyaged from Europe to North America 500 years before Columbus. Number 1. Oregon's Crack in the Ground. Tucked away in central Oregon lies an ancient geological marvel known as Crack in the Ground. This volcanic fissure stretches approximately 2 miles in length and reaches depths of up to 70 feet. Remarkably preserved due to the arid climate of the region, this crack has avoided the natural fill of erosion, allowing visitors to walk its length and explore its depths. Formed between 700,000 and 12,000 years ago, Crack in the Ground is the result of a tension fracture along a fault line, caused by volcanic activity in the area. It's a prime example of a graben, a depressed block of land bordered by parallel faults. This geological feature provides a unique hiking experience through a narrow chasm, where at its narrowest points, one can touch both walls with outstretched arms. The environment inside the crack offers a respite from the desert heat, with temperatures inside the fissure being noticeably cooler. This microclimate supports a sparse but interesting array of flora, including mosses that cling to the cooler, shaded rock faces. The unique conditions also attract a variety of wildlife, making it a fascinating spot for nature enthusiasts. Crack in the Ground is accessible via a dirt road leading from Christmas Valley and is managed by the Bureau of Land Management. The area offers no amenities like water or camping facilities directly at the site, but nearby Green Mountain Campground provides basic camping facilities. The trail through the fissure is moderately challenging, providing both adventure and solitude amidst the stunning geological scenery. For those planning a visit, it's advisable to prepare for basic desert hiking conditions, bring plenty of water, wear suitable footwear, and plan for the remote nature of the location. The trail is open year-round, though access might be challenging during adverse weather conditions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.